Thing narcissists hate and fear about you. A narcissist might love all the admirable qualities you possess. Your willingness to give second chances, your deep care for them, your compassion, kindness, patience, and understanding. But there's one thing they can't stand. Once they discover this trait, they become your worst enemy. They attack you relentlessly, trying to bring you down, but they always fail. To gain the upper hand, they attempt to eradicate this one characteristic. What is this trait? In this episode, let's find out. Hi, and thanks for watching. Thank you for tuning in. To avoid missing out, please subscribe if you're new here and haven't already before we start. Narcissists love the positive qualities in you because they can exploit these traits to their advantage. They know that your compassion, willingness to forgive, kindness, and understanding can be manipulated to fuel their needs. However, they despise anything that endures. They hate this about you. You are resilient because of this one trait. No matter how hard they try, they can't break you. You keep coming back because you are unbreakable. You rise again after all the cruel things they do to you, and it drives them crazy. They sense a light in you that they cannot extinguish, and it torments them daily. Everyone might try to emulate you, dressing like you, favoring the same colors, mimicking your speech, getting the same job, living in the same neighborhood. But there's one thing they can't replicate. They know they're constantly falling apart, dependent on others to survive, while you stand strong on your own. You have a wealth of inner resources. They can only take, never give. This leaves them empty, a void that eats away at a narcissist's soul. They lack your strength and determination. They know you don't need them, but they desperately need you. These individuals will try to make you feel inferior to convince themselves they're superior. Their ego shatters because they can't break you. They feel like failures, convinced you're the most foolish person for resisting their control and abuse. They despise how you break free of their chains every morning. You have your own thoughts, a voice, and the courage to ask questions. Despite their efforts to warp your reality, you still bring up issues they can't hide with their deceit, which infuriates them. That's what it means to be strong. They despise your persistence and strength because it means they can't exploit you as they wish. They want to walk all over you and treat you like a doormat, partially because you love them and are trapped by trauma bonding, gaslighting, and cognitive dissonance. They also know there's a part of you that sees through their facade and will eventually leave them, which they absolutely loathe. They want to eliminate that part of you, to erase any cognitive conflict. They aim to completely reshape your mind and brainwash you. Their goal is for you to believe without a doubt that the narcissist you're dealing with is a good person. They don't want you to have thoughts like, maybe he or she is bad, or maybe they're not that bad, maybe they're nice. They want their lies to become your reality. They want you to blend with their false ego and live through it. But they fail miserably in this attempt. Yes, you struggle, you suffer, and you're confused about the relationship. But deep down, you know what you're up against and understand that you need to lead one day. Even if it's hard, whether because of children or financial concerns, deep down you're preparing for that moment, and that's what they want to destroy. They want you to believe they're a good person and blame yourself for any issues. They don't want you to think, maybe he did that to me, which is why I'm this way, or maybe she did that to me, which is why I act that way. They don't want you to recognize that they are the problem. Your persistence and resolve threaten them because they can't suppress, silence, or contain it, and that's why they hate it. They resent that you have the ability to heal while they remain unchanged. They merely jump from one person to another, incapable of transformation. The faces in their lives may change, but they stay the same. This isn't true for you. Although being close to them can harm your mental health, there is hope for you. You can heal, become whole, and rediscover your true self through this ordeal. They cannot. They have lost touch with their true selves and their inner children, and nothing can mend that. Long ago, they abandoned any hope of self-repair. Now they exist as a destructive, soulless entity, hating their emotional zombification. They know you can find hope, overcome this, and become the best version of yourself. Their dependency on others makes them deeply worried, as they realize they can't achieve the same. They despise your authenticity. Seeing you engage in genuine conversations with others fills them with jealousy. They belittle you, insult you, and blame you out of envy, but deep down, they hate that they can't do what you do. They have to wear a mask to pretend they have relationships. For them, everything is fake. For you, it's effortless. They can't stand how people naturally like you because you're real, how others feel safe around you, and how smoothly things go for you. To deceive people, they rely on charm and magnetism, but it never lasts because there's no real foundation. That's not the case for you. When you're in your element, everyone wants to connect with you, and they can't stand it. They want to destroy that. That's why they constantly make you doubt your abilities, skills, and gifts. They undermine you, making you think, you just got lucky with that job. You don't deserve that much money. You don't have what it takes. They laugh or smirk when you succeed, saying things like, oh, you inherited that business. You don't have the skills to run it. You're so weak. Don't forget, their smile is aimed at their own fake self. That grin hides an insecure, jealous, entitled adult child who resents your success because they can't achieve it. That's the truth. So don't take their comments personally. They hate everything about you that makes it hard for them to abuse or hurt you. Conversely, they love everything about you that makes it easier for them to exploit you, using your good qualities against you. That's all for today's video. I hope you found it helpful. As always, until next time, let the healing begin and continue. Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today, we're delving into the intriguing and often bewildering world of narcissistic behavior. Specifically, we're exploring what happens when you initiate a no-contact strategy after being rejected by a narcissist. Initially, this response may seem perplexing and unfair. After all, when you cease contact with them, narcissists tend to react in a peculiar and seemingly irrational manner. It's as if they expect to maintain control over the separation, despite being the ones who initiated the breakup in the first place. It's a paradoxical situation where the narcissist appears to believe they have the right to discard you abruptly, yet still dictate the terms of your disconnection. They seem to presume that you should continue to seek their validation, remain tethered to them, and refrain from finding happiness or fulfillment in your own endeavors or relationships. Their objective seems to be keeping tabs on your every move. But upon deeper reflection, we're compelled to ask, is this fair? Why should a narcissist feel entitled to reject you harshly and then attempt to maintain control over you? The answer lies in their sense of entitlement. Narcissists genuinely believe that they own others and can exert control over them even when they're no longer in direct contact. This entitlement becomes most evident when they decide to sever ties with someone. Often, this decision stems from the belief that the person no longer serves their needs. Following a period of prolonged evaluation, the victim may feel diminished, unable to fulfill the narcissist's ever-changing demands. It's at this juncture that the narcissist typically discards them as disposable. Narcissists derive a peculiar satisfaction from witnessing the struggles of those they've abandoned. The narcissist's insatiable hunger for control and superiority is fueled by the notion that their discarded victim continues to suffer and remain discontented. Opting to distance yourself from narcissists marks a significant milestone. It signifies the moment you refuse to play into the narcissist's hands. After their rejection, you no longer feed their ego or cater to their whims. Instead, you make a conscious choice to prioritize your own growth and healing, gently releasing them from your life. Most importantly, you embrace your independence and forge ahead, no longer entwining your life with theirs. For narcissists, accepting this newfound independence and focus on self-care can be a bitter pill to swallow. They lose their grip on your attention and influence over you, leaving them feeling disconcerted and unsettled. It's challenging for them to come to terms with the fact that you've moved on and are no longer under their sway. Many find it difficult to comprehend how someone could be so resilient and detached from their manipulative influence. The complexity of these emotions can be overwhelming. Curiously, despite the pain inflicted by the narcissist, many individuals still harbor a desire to reconcile with them shortly after the breakup. However, this longing often diminishes as they begin to prioritize their own well-being and focus on personal growth. It's during this phase of emotional detachment and self-recovery that narcissists may attempt a hoover to re-enter their lives and regain control. Narcissists employ hoovers as a tactic to regain control over you, often disguised as reconciliation or genuine concern. This maneuver is especially pivotal when you're beginning to find your footing again, making it a critical juncture. Sensing their diminishing power, narcissists employ various strategies to reassert control or reignite the relationship for their own benefit. When you're in the process of moving on from a narcissist, but haven't fully detached, they often perceive vulnerability and seize the opportunity to worm their way back into your life. For them, this moment is crucial as they fear losing you permanently. Narcissists maintain a mental roster of past relationships they can revisit because they abhor losing the attention and adoration they once commanded. After severing ties with you, they may remain silent for months or even years, especially if they believe you're still reeling from the breakup. However, once they detect signs of your healing and emotional distance, they resurface, feigning innocent concern or initiating contact under the guise of reconnecting. They may propose meeting up or employ emotional appeals to reignite feelings of attachment. This tactic is designed to make you reassess their significance in your life. Entering into any form of engagement with them during this delicate phase can potentially reverse the progress you've made in your healing journey, dragging you back into emotional dependency. Like skillful curators, narcissists adeptly maintain their harem or garage of admirers, a metaphorical term reflecting their tendency to periodically engage with a group of individuals to reinforce their authority and control, rather than genuinely seeking reconnection. Once they've cast you aside, they may attempt to reel you back in, even if they have no genuine intention of reconciliation. This resurrects your longing for them, allowing them to momentarily satiate their hunger for attention and validation before once again withdrawing. By reigniting your emotions, this cyclical pattern enables the narcissist to uphold their sense of superiority and dominance. They derive a psychological edge from rekindling your focus, despite harboring no desire for a meaningful relationship. They triumph psychologically by perpetuating their interpersonal control. It's a deceptive tactic that inflates their ego while ensnaring you in a cycle of hope and disappointment, making it arduous to move forward and reclaim your autonomy. When you make the decision to cut ties with a narcissist and stick to it, their perception undergoes a shift. They can no longer exert their gravitational pull or even cast a fleeting glance in your direction. The absence of access and information about your life leaves them unsettled. After discarding you, they've grown accustomed to monitoring your thoughts to maintain their influence. Disrupting this flow of control and manipulation leaves them feeling disconcerted and forlorn. Their discomfort stems from the failure to sustain the status quo, where they could effortlessly manipulate your emotions. They sense the impending loss of you as a source of narcissistic supply, prompting a sense of urgency. Their concern for your well-being or their absence from your life is not born out of love. Rather, they yearn for the praise, attention, and adoration you once provided. Your absence creates a void they desperately seek to fill. Faced with this dilemma, narcissists concoct schemes to re-establish connection. Their primary objective is to regain control and retain you as a source of narcissistic supply, not genuine reconciliation or repair. The idea of thriving and finding joy or success without their involvement is utterly intolerable to narcissists. Driven by an incessant need to feel superior, they view any indication of your flourishing without them as a direct challenge to their sense of self-worth. The mere thought of you surpassing them evokes a profound sense of discomfort and disquiet within them. Their innate competitiveness prohibits them from accepting the notion that you could thrive independently of their influence. They abhor the idea of being outperformed in any aspect of life. The implementation of strict no-contact measures exacerbates this discomfort for narcissists. It not only facilitates your healing process, but also shatters their illusion of perpetual control. When you steadfastly adhere to the no-contact rule following their rejection, you create a significant psychological quandary for them. This situation catapults the narcissist onto an emotional rollercoaster ride. They desperately yearn to reinsert themselves into your life, eager to ascertain your current stance and reignite your former passion for them. However, you occupy precious mental real estate in their minds without affording them any semblance of influence or control. The absence of access to information or the ability to convince themselves of their superiority intensifies their distress. The narcissist may find themselves consumed by this fixation, feeling compelled to take action. This compulsion stems from the unsettling realization that they no longer hold sway over you, and their once unshakable sense of tranquility and security is gradually eroding. Your refusal to engage with them following rejection undermines their perceived dominance, signaling that you are capable of moving forward and flourishing independently. Narcissists are utterly averse to the prospect of being perceived as inferior, hence they are utterly incapable of tolerating this possibility. The threat to their ego might trigger unpredictable thoughts and behaviors. Deprived of their manipulative tactics and strategies, individuals may experience a loss of identity and purpose. The notion that they might not always emerge victorious and that you can thrive independently of them can drive them to the brink of madness. Choosing to go no contact after facing rejection is a pivotal step towards healing and a powerful assertion of reclaiming your autonomy. It sends a clear message to the narcissist that their grip on you is tenuous at best. It takes strength to declare that you're moving forward without their approval. Thank you for tuning in to this discussion. If you found it helpful or resonated with you, please like, comment, share, and subscribe.